Episode 4141, Keep Your Clothes On.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. Are you ready for something extraordinary? Come on, it's the weekend, and guess what? You get to love your spouse more. Yes, you do, but you got to keep your clothes on. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted for your presence. If you already had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. All right, take a deep breath, because I'm sure already you're thinking, Christiane, what did you just say? I know. But I want to remind you, marriage was designed for intimacy. Now, don't be concerned. You don't have to put this on mute thinking, oh, well, I don't want my kids to hear. It's probably actually not going to be that bad. But I do want to tell you this. I want you to really think about it. I want you to think about where intimacy is in your marriage. I don't want you to think about how often things are coming up physically. But I want you also to think about it on a deeper level. Because God built it that way on purpose, right? Marriage was designed for intimacy, and God made it that way. He wanted it that way. That physical closeness is part of the gift. So why in the world would I tell you to keep your clothes on, right? That's what you're thinking, like, Christiane, come on already, aren't we supposed to? Because there's a kind of intimacy that has to come first. And if you don't have it, the physical stuff becomes a bandage on a wound that keeps reopening. If you don't have the heart of your spouse, maybe you should keep your clothes on. You're thinking, how does this even make sense? Well, I want you to think about how you interact with your spouse right now. Not how you wish you did, not how you did on your wedding day or night. Right now, today, what does it look like for you all as a couple? Are you cordial with each other? Or are you putting up with each other? There's a real difference there. Right? Cordial can look like connection from the outside. You're polite. You say good morning. You don't fight in front of the kids. Maybe, he'll fix you coffee in the morning, something like that. But underneath, you might just be tolerating a season, waiting it out, coexisting instead of building. What is it for you? Think about it for a moment. Because I know we're not stopping having these conversations, and they are tough. I know I've had these deep thoughts. I've questioned myself. I've gone through this long time ago, yes, but I will tell you this. I go back and I kind of hit a few seasons. I'm like, okay, where am I in this? Where is this showing up for me? Because that's the thing. I want to push you further than that question, because cordial is not the finish line either. Now, this is a funny word, right? Cordiality. I know that kind of sounds weird, but does your cordiality go all the way to serving your spouse unconditionally the way God calls you to? Or are you serving from a lens of convenience, doing the loving thing only when it costs you nothing? And then you reward yourself with, what you want for the rest of the time. That's a hard question. So I want you to really think about it. Sit with it. Ask yourself, maybe you need to put this on pause for a minute. Maybe you need to get out your journal if you're a writer and you like to journal. Maybe you need to take some notes, whether in your mind or on your phone. And just think about where you are. Because marriage is a two-way street. And we tend to forget that. And if you're the spouse who requires the other person to go down only your one-way road, you're going to hit struggles and troubles. It's not just a matter of it. It's actually when it's going to happen, because it's going to happen. The struggle and troubles are going to appear. And maybe you're like, well, I'm not the one who has the whole issue of the one-way road. Oh, no, it's my spouse. Okay, be careful. I want you to be honest about your position in your marriage, but also be extra honest with yourself, because it's easier to point fingers. I know we all do it. Come on. You can't sit here and make changes and have a stronger marriage and be better together if you're not willing to do the hard work. You got to look at yourself first and then consider your spouse. Now, I'm not saying your spouse isn't the problem, Because technically it's a two-way street, right? We all have a say. Ephesians 5:21 says believers are to submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. So it's one another, not one to another. Marriage has never meant to be a one-way street with your spouse doing all the yielding. Maybe you can think of somebody who pops in your mind of like, oh yeah, got a sister who has been through that. I got a best friend. My mom went through it. Like, what is it for you? If you're not in a situation, you probably know someone in that kind of situation. Marriage takes communication. It takes compromise. It takes compassion. All of those three are wrapped up in one bigger thing. It's kind of like the big bow that really makes a difference. It's called unconditional love. The kind that doesn't keep score, the kind that shows up on the hard days, not just the easy ones. Yet it takes one person to start that shift, right? It takes one person to start, two to finish. That means, yes, you can make a difference and an impact in your marriage. But if your marriage is going to be better than where you are now, eventually it's going to take both of you. Okay? So you can't carry this alone, but you can definitely start it. One spouse can plant the seed of change, but a marriage doesn't get rebuilt by one person carrying the whole thing alone forever. And to get you there, you have to be honest. Really, really honest. And sometimes, honestly, see, I'm using that word a lot. The real truth is that we're so used to telling white lies that we don't even see them as actual lies. A white lie is still a lie. Doesn't matter how innocent it is or not. So maybe you've been fooling yourself. I want you to get honest with yourself. How and what are you contributing to your marriage? Right? Where are you? What does it look like? And where do you want this marriage to go? Not where you assume it's headed, but where you want it to go. Assumptions aren't going to do you any good, right? Because honestly, they get you in trouble. So you need to know exactly where you stand. Maybe you're like, gosh, maybe I am secretly keeping score. Okay. Did you know football's about to start? Oh yeah, just wait. It's going to be awesome. I am so excited. Bring on the college ball, bring on the NFL. Let's do this. But in all of that, right? Who wins the game? You got to keep score. In marriage, the game is not who wins. You're a couple, right? It takes two to tango. You want to dance your life together. Otherwise, quite frankly, why are you married? You're like, whoa, Christiane, like, why are you even asking that question? Because you need to know where you are and where you are connected. Otherwise, you might as well keep your clothes on. That is your kiss to keep it simple strategy. You've got to really actually look at where you are in your marriage and take time to pump the brakes on the physical and pursue the heart first. And that requires you to keep your clothes on. Because it's not all about the, yes, I'm going to spell it here, S-E, got it, okay, cross. We're going to leave it at that, just in case you do have little kids' ears around, because I know some of you do have them listening, they can hear, so I want to protect them. But where are you? Where do you stand? Because at some point, you have to say, okay, it can't always be about the physical. It's got to be the pursuit of the heart. Where are we connected there? So what does it look like in real life to win the heart of your spouse? Number one, ask before you assume. Stop guessing what your spouse needs and start asking. How are you really doing? What's been hard for you this week? What do you need from me right now? And then as they answer, let them give you, continue to ask them questions. Be curious. Because assumption is where distance quietly grows. But curiosity is where that distance starts to close. So are you wanting to gain distance in your marriage, or do you want to close the gap? That's what we're looking at here. So ask before you assume. Too often we think, I can finish his sentences. And it's fun. We've been married so long. Like, he knows what I'm going to say. Yep, I know what he's going to say. But what about some of the deeper things? When was the last time you actually talked about that? When was the last time you said, you know what, I really love when you just caress my back? When you sit there and we sit on the couch and we just talk about each other's day. The hard things that we went through, but the great things too. Yeah, we talk about the kids and what we can do better with them, but we talk about us. When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you shared something intimately? Not S-E, give me the cross. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? Now, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your heart, that intimacy. Close the gap. Ask before you assume. Number 2, serve without a scoreboard. Yeah, you never thought college ball and NFL football would be talked about already, but it is. And so much of our life is up on a scoreboard. Why? I mean, think about it. Your Instagram reels, your Facebook, it's all a scoreboard. Look at me, WIIFM, what's in it for me? I love that radio station. No, you don't. You shouldn't. It's 2 of you in the marriage, not 1 of you. This isn't about you looking better. This isn't about you trying to one up your best friends as a couple, right? But that's what we do. Oh man, they're going there for vacation. I wish we could. Okay, well then we've got to make a trip right now. I actually know people who do that. They're so cut up and stuck on materialistic things and trying to always be somebody else's highlight reel. That's called a scoreboard, my friend. And you cannot serve and be better together in a marriage if you've got a scoreboard that's keeping track of things in your bedroom, in your kitchen, and in your family room. It doesn't work. So notice if you're keeping a mental tally. You know automatically if you do. You're like, oh yeah, I'm guilty, Christiane. Yeah, I know. I've been there too. And I can tell you right now, honestly, sometimes I do it now. And then I catch myself. Now, there are times that you got to talk about it and you don't mean to keep the score. But let's say you go to your best friend that is your confidant and you share something, you know it's not going anywhere else because it's a season or it's been a moment and you just have to get it off your chest. Okay, if it's said and it dies, that's one thing. But if you're sitting there using it as gossip to go and bash your spouse, you got another thing coming. You're keeping a scoreboard. Because that's what you're doing when you go talk to your best friend about it. That's what you do when you're going and, babbling off to somebody else and you girls go out and you're like, oh, you will not believe what my husband did. Well, you know what my husband did? Well, he did this. Oh, I remember 12 years ago he did this. Really? Can't do it. Serve without a scoreboard. It's all about unconditional love, the kind Scripture calls us to, right? You can't have it run on a ledger. Try serving your spouse one time this week with zero expectation of anything back. Absolutely nothing. Not for him to make you a cup of coffee, not for him to go and make sure, the toilet seat's down and his shoes are picked up. Nothing. No expectation. Nothing. Just go serve. Just watch what it does in your own heart, let alone his. Serve without a scoreboard. And finally, number 3, get honest out loud. I mean, really honest out loud. Say the true thing, not the version that makes you look good. Don't dress it up. Don't polish it a little bit to be like, oh, no, I'm going to put a little lacquer on here because it looks better. I'm going to add a little bit of glitter here. Let's add some sparkles here. Nope. Say the true thing, not the version that only blames them. Tell your spouse where you actually are, your frustrations, your fears, your part in the disconnect. Where is that? Honesty spoken in love is the doorway to real intimacy. Everything else is just proximity. Think about that. Again, what are we doing? Is it all about the action? Is it about, oh, I just got to feel a certain way? What about the heart? What about connecting there? And men, if you're listening, oh, let me tell you, if you're married to a real woman, their heart matters, and you better be connecting to it. Because when you do, your bedroom, the intimacy will be a lot better. Truly, it will be a lot better. Marriage is a beautiful gift, but gifts don't stay beautiful on their own, right? You have to take care of them. They have to be tended to. You have to be purposeful, on purpose, day after day, moment by moment. So before you rush to close a physical distance, ask yourself if you've closed the heart distance first. Have you narrowed that gap? Because you can share a bed and still be strangers. And that's actually really sad. But a lot of families right now live that way. We don't have our churches talking about it. We don't have our counselors and therapists. We need a lot of counselors and therapists and coaches, don't get me wrong. We do. But let me tell you, the people who need the help, they're not getting it. And they're just living like this. Well, we're sharing a bed, but we're still strangers. I really don't know who I'm sleeping with. You need to value them. And their value isn't about always a physical action, but a heart connection. And you can keep your clothes on and still be closer than you've been for years. For real. What are you doing right now in your marriage? Where are you? If you were to look at, we're really connected heart to heart. That's great. Then you can move to the next level. But if you're like, nah, if there's a hesitation at all, I really want you to think about, what can I do? What one step can I take today to move the needle on my marriage? One step at a time leads to miles of greatness. And sometimes the first step is simply choosing to know your spouse's heart before anything else. See where they're hurting. See where they're loving, so you can love deeper and well. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.